setting low on a hometown track. Dust rolling up like a freight train stack. Cooler in the bed of a beat-up Ford. Crowds getting loud cause they know what's in store. Engines rumbling like a southeast storm. Another wild night where new legends are born. Grab your hat, grab your girl, feel that grandstand shake. Everybody knows this ain't no small town state. Cause we're full throttle Thursday night at them big bright lights, rubbing doors, riding high, leading hard through every fight. From the backstretch to turn 4, fans holler for more and more. Ain't nothing beats that heartbeat racing. Yeah, this is iNRS Racing.
All right, everyone, welcome to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS Racing Series. I'm Rick Souza here with Jeff Needy in the booth. Qualifying is underway here in the iNRS Racing Series. We've got a number of drivers on track right now, currently qualifying here at Darlington. We'll bring that to you momentarily as we get our gear in order here.
I was just watching Grady Gherkin on his qualifying run, and boy, he got totally sideways, got it saved, and then lost it again. So,
wow,
it's this is a tricky track. If you get down out of the groove, get down a little bit too low, that track really flattens out, and it upsets the car.
Watching a number of drivers here making their qualifying runs. We'll try to get you some information as best we have it.
Looking at that Brandt number 48 right now. That's Paul Irvin making his qualifying run in a throwback Brandt scheme, it looks like. I haven't seen that one. That's an older one.
Yeah, watching a number of guys out there at this point. We're getting some good times. Right now, Keenan Shoddy is sitting right now at the top of the leaderboard with a sub-29 time. That's pretty hard to do here at Darlington. Track, you've lots of different analogies. The Lady in Black, too tough to tame. It's all of the above as far as I'm concerned. This is a really challenging track for drivers.
It really is. You know, the guys that can run fast can run up against the wall. And at Darlington, man, if you can hug the wall for your entire lap, which is opposite of what most tracks are, you want to be as low as you can. But if you can get up there next to that wall and without hitting it, because that really slows you down, but if you can get up next to it, you just keep your momentum the whole way through that turn. And some guys have mastered it, and some guys like yours truly have not. So
if you're tuning in now and you haven't tuned into iRacing or an iRacing event in a while. A lot of big changes happened in the past week or so with this latest update. They've really brought in a number of cool features. They've brought in the what we affectionately call the marbles, so that as the tires wear, little bits of rubber wears off the tires. Well, those now are on the track, and they will move up the track as drivers will run, and you'll see it the track actually rubber in with that simulated rubber debris. So all that's out there. So it looks like qualifying is done right now. We'll get you the official results of qualifying when we get you our grid. We'll have that for you soon. But let's cover a couple of things. First of all, the points, where we stand today, right now. With the iNRS Racing Series, Lucas Gortman sits on top. He's had 4 podiums so far this season and 1 win. Eric LeBombard is right there with 2 wins. Scott Bailey won. Jacob Musso also won. Those are the 5 winners so far this season. But really, there's a huge point gap right now between first to 15th, even first to 10th. It's nearly 100 points.
That's amazing to me. It's I had expected it to be a little bit tighter than that, but yeah, numbers don't lie. Or what's that old saying? Figures don't lie, but liars figure. I think if some of these guys had their chance, they'd figured their way a little bit more towards the top. But yeah, Lucas Gortman out to a big lead, and then another big jump between second and third between Eric LeBombard and Scott Bailey. I keep saying Eric's name wrong. I apologize, Eric.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out. But right now, of course, this will only be 6 races in when it's all after tonight's event, so relatively early. But you just never know. As these guys keep popping away at things, could change. Lucas Gortman could have a couple bad races, and that whole current top 15 could change radically. So we'll keep an eye on that and bring that to your attention as we go on. But for race info for tonight, we're here at Darlington. We've got 147 laps. Stage break at lap 44. They've got 5 additional sets, 1 on the car and 1 in and 5 in the pits. Got to update you, Jeff. You weren't here with me last week, and Maxwell Caldwell filled in for me, so sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
No fast repairs. Green-white checker attempts. This is interesting. As many as needed.
Yes, they just changed that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it used to be 3. Fuel window, that's going to be a big one tonight if we can stay green, 50 to 55 laps. This track is pretty amazing. I just love this.
It's nice. That was the most polite way to say it's pretty amazing, because we could I just don't know. We could see a few yellows. We could see a bunch of yellows. We could see just a handful. We'll see how it all plays out. You just never know.
Yep. It's an exciting track. That's for sure. If the guys are careful, take their time in those early laps, get into a rhythm. It's really a rhythm track. Both ends of this track are totally different from each other. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You got one set of corners that's pretty tight and narrow. You got another set that's much wider. You can go faster through that set, and it really makes a driver pay attention to where on the track they are. And that was the first time I ever ran Darlington. I just got lost. I didn't know which set of corners was coming up, and it's very easy to lose your focus if you're not honed in and paying attention.
Well, Darlington, is tricky. So I think for keys to today's race, we've only got a few minutes left here. Respect the Darlington stripe. I mean, that is something that these guys are going to know. That's as you exit turn 2. If you're not in the right spot, you're going to find out exactly what that means, because that wall, you'll think it's jumping out at you.
Yeah, it really gives you that feeling. And for those of you that haven't watched a race at Darlington before, that Darlington stripe that Rick talks about is when the car hits the wall coming off that corner and just leaves a stripe down the wall and loses some paint on the side of that car as well.
Other thing they'll have to work on is protecting that right front and manage tire wear with the high banks here. And it's abrasive surface that's going to chew through tires. They've got plenty in the pits, but at some point, I'm thinking between 20, 25 laps, we're going to see that grip kind of go away, and they'll have to go from being aggressive driving to managing driving here.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a big difference. And these guys do not, even though they have a lot of tires, they don't want to use them all because that means more time on pit road and you fall further behind.
So right now, also weather. So you've got the air temp is 70, the track temperature is 90. It's partly cloudy. You can see they've got to manage the difference in the track conditions that could occur as well. So that's something they need to work on. But we are about to get moving here. We'll bring you the grid momentarily here as the drivers begin to come together. And let's bring up this grid. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, kick us off.
There we go. Kenan Shade in
Shoddy.
P1. Shoddy, that's right. I messed that up 2 weeks ago. Sorry, Kenan. Matt Parasini is alongside him. That makes up row 1. In row 2, we've got Grady Gherkin. We talked about him a little bit earlier. Jordan Wenzel in the 4th spot. Row 3, we've got Brian Jones and Corey Ennis. Row 4 is Steve Tucker and Jake Mossow. Row 5, Lucas Cortman and Keith Fonseca.
All right, in row 6, you got Alex Daffin and Dakota Reeder. And again, it's throwback night, so you'll see some older paints there. We'll try our best to bring those to you. Eric Jeffers is in row 7 with Tyro Lem. In row 8, you've got Paul Irvin and Zach Carter. In row 9, you've got Brady Boatwright and Vernon Broadbeck. And in row 10, you've got Jeff Ramsdell and Daryl Young.
Coming up here in row 11, you can see right there Garrett Walden and Matthew Wheeler. Row 12 is Clark Franz and Gary Wells. Row 13, Matthew Patak and Mike Wheel. Row 14, Vince Burns and Brendan McKee. Row 15 is Tony Japs and Eric LeBombard.
All right, and in row 16, you've got Kai Collimore and Austin Walton. Row 17, you've got Jacob Phillips and Chase Berry. Row 18, Joe Musso and Shane Trotter. Row 19, and I think this is our last row here, that's Joe Torres and Seth Fitzpatrick. All right, that's our grid for today's race. And right now, the pace car is taking them around the track. This league has been so accommodating because of our ignore that green flag. They actually have added an extra lap to the start of these races with the pace car, help us get through all of the pre-race information to bring that to you. So we thank them for that.
On these shorter tracks, you got to talk really fast to get 38 cars in.
Yeah, had they not put in that extra lap, we would have been struggling to. We'd be calling for the green flag while we were just finishing that last row.
You see that 45 of Kenan Sade, and he is going to bring us to the green flag here. Once they get through, you see them going through, or going down the straightaway now, headed towards 1 and 2.
See the pace car drop off. All right, here we go.
Ooh.
Oh,
He
speaking
got
of the
a
back,
bump from the 46 there.
42 went around. Green. We're still green here.
Yeah, poor Deanna Shoddy is fell back quite a bit there. He got bumped by I think it was Grady Gherkin in the 46, but
yeah, you got to get up and go here. Unfortunately, I don't think that he was able to pull it off right there. So.
Yeah, I heard somebody on the radios talking about they weren't used to the higher horsepower that they're running now in these Cup cars on the shorter tracks. So Matt Parasini takes over the lead after that little incident at the start. He's followed by Brian Jones, Grady Gherkin, Steve Tucker, and Tianan Sade. Made it to the, he held on for 5th place after getting knocked out of the lead there.
All right, 94 of Matt Persini up in front. You've got Brian Jones there in back. That last lap was a 29.41. That was one of our better laps so far. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Of course, we're just getting started here.
Matt Parasini has clocked the fastest lap so far, but still not up where our qualifying speeds were. He ran a 29.41. A lot of cars pretty close behind him there. Really surprised how quickly they've spread out this far.
Yeah, already the field is spread out over half the track, which is really something to be marveled at. But if we're going, I think we've quickly just gone nose to tail here and just a single file all the way around. We're going to pop back around position 15 here. There's a little bit of action there as these guys are trying to find a spot here and moving around that Croton car that's in the higher groove. But looking back through Clark Franz here in that Alan Kowicki throwback paint scheme. Got the Ricky Rudd time machine behind him. That's what Matt Wheeler is running.
See the Bud car there.
Yep.
I think he's running a number 8 too, isn't he? Is that Broadbeck?
Yeah, actually he is. He's that's his
Broadbeck.
Yep, that's his number. I was about to say
that's the perfect throwback.
You know, I'm looking at that Tide machine, and I'm thinking Juan Pablo Montoya, but in my mind, he's not famous so much for running the Tide paint scheme. He's famous for not paying attention and hitting the hitting that jet dryer.
Yeah, that Target car looks like an older scheme too. It's
So a lot of action here
like
in the back. Oh, car in the wall.
Oh, hard.
I think that was Shane Trotter. It was Shane Trotter's 20 is pretty much destroyed. He is stopping on the track. That's gonna definitely bring out. He's got a meatball. Oh, he just, with the magic of iRacing, he was able to just basically tow himself into the pits, and so he is out and probably out of the event. That some serious damage on that 20 car. Matt Persini he just lost it. I'm not exactly sure. We can go back and look. Take a quick peek at it real fast here. He just got loose.
Oh boy. Hard into that outside wall. That engine's got to be toast.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go back. We'll go right on board with him here. Or not. The broadcast said, broadcast said, nope, we're going to stay live. So there's that. All right, Matt Persini out in front here. 10 laps done of 147. 10 laps done of our stage up to 140 to 49 here. Persini out in front with a really wicked paint scheme. I'm not sure if I know that paint scheme or it's just cool the way it is, but yeah, Dino Nuggets did pretty well.
Yeah. Okay, lap time's fallen off a little bit. He is almost a second off his best lap. And no longer holding fastest lap, it doesn't look like.
Seth Fitzpatrick is running a Kodiak paint scheme.
Yeah, he still does have fastest lap, but he's 8/10, a little over 8/10.
Oh, the 30. Caution comes out. So the 30 of Gary Wells go for a spin here. That was just a single car, little incident here. Right there.
Yeah. Just put too much wheel into it coming off that corner. That's right where that wall looks like it's jumping out at you. And there's so much pressure on the back end of the car to go out from under you that if all of a sudden you give it a little too much wheel, it's just going to send that back end to the front end. I
think they've also, you heard it before from some of the drivers, between the combination of the fact that there's about 100 more horsepower in these short track setups, the downforce isn't there anymore if they're following along. So there is absolutely a whole lot of change if they're from the car they're used to driving just 2 weeks ago. And so Jordan Booth just chimed in on the YouTube chat. So he says Matt Parasini, he believes it's the throwback to Bill Elliott to a McDonald's dream car back in the day. We'll have to check that out.
Several cars going into the pits here, only 13 laps. That's unless they have a little bit of damage. I've seen a few guys scrape the wall. Sometimes when you do that, you can bend a wheel, so they may go in, change tires. Yeah, there's probably 10 cars in the pits right now.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if that was a Bill Elliott. I don't recall a Dino Nuggets paint scheme, but if you can find that, Jordan, send us a link or double check.
Yeah, it looks like Clark Franz and Shane Trotter have both disconnected and are probably out for the evening.
Yeah, I don't doubt that hit that Shane Trotter took was that was a car ending. That was that was ruined. Yeah. All right, first caution of the night at run lap 14 here of 147 scheduled laps. We appreciate those of you who are tuning in live to tonight's broadcast here of the iNRS Racing Series. Matt Parasini is looks like he's taking the outside lines. Got Grady Gherkin to the inside in that Western Auto paint scheme. We were just talking about that earlier. That's a Waltrip. Do you think there's a Waltrip paint scheme?
Yeah, that's what we were thinking.
Yeah, I know he drove the 17 Western Auto Chevrolet.
Yeah, I would love to see guys do paint schemes that match their number, like the number 8 Budweiser car tonight. Vernon Broadbeck, I think, picked the perfect scheme for this evening's race by running that old Dale Jr.
Yeah, that 6 of Lucas Cortman, it'd be a good opportunity to run a Mark Martin scheme.
Yeah, it would. Sure would.
All right, the pace car drops off as the field begins to come to the green flag, and we'll get this event back underway here. As we enter the restart zone. And the green flag flies here at Darlington. Back underway. These are always the most challenging and dangerous parts of these restarts.
Yeah.
Guys heading too wide into turn 2, always a challenge.
Yeah, saw Alec Daffin, or excuse me, not Alec Daffin. It was Lucas Portman and Grady Gherkin really had a good battle going for second there. They spread out a little bit now, but you can see them running too wide, just behind the leaders a little ways. Looks like it's back around 12th position or so. Matt Parasini did not pit, but was able to cool his tires down, it looks like, because his lap times have come back up again a little bit. Sometimes that's all it takes. Those tires on a short track like this will warm up pretty quickly. And sometimes you can you get yellow flag conditions. You can run a couple laps at pace speed and cool those tires down, and it makes those cars a little bit easier to handle. A little bit easier on that right front too, because you're not abusing it while it's hot.
Well, that's one of the things we have to watch here, definitely.
I think you'll have comers and goers tonight. I think you'll see guys, and not all the guys up front are abusing their tires, but you're going to see some guys that try to get to the front and abuse their tires, but they are fast early in the run, and then their speeds really drop off as that right front, and really all four tires start to wear, but especially that right front.
So looking at the top 10 or so, they're all within about 1 or 2 seconds of the leader, but after that it begins to really tail off. You can see that's why there's cars 5 and 6, 7, 10, 11 seconds back. We've only just dropped this green flag just a few laps ago. So, Darlington's just one of those tracks where some people just absolutely kick it and kill it, and other people just struggle. It's just a hard track.
So far, all the cars that are running on the lead lap. You see the 99, if you look up at that track map, that 99 of Tyler Lem is having a little bit of a tough time. He's dropped quite a ways back, almost half a straightaway off the car in front of him.
Yeah, Tyler Lem was he's back. He's in the pits. Yeah,
he just pitted. I was watching the track map. He disappeared, and I thought, oh, that's not good.
You don't pay too much attention to that track map. I think our track map is maybe reversed. So we're working on that graphic right now. It looks like they should be in turn 3 and then 4 on our track map. I think it's actually 1 and 2, but yeah, it's all right. or vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, those times are stretching out even further. You talked about the separation between first position and Joe Torres, now the last car on the lead lap. It's almost 19 seconds difference, so over half a lap. They're just spreading out. Some guys in the middle are probably biding their time a little bit, trying to save tires. But some guys just, this is a very tough track to master. I think that the two ends being so different is one reason for that, but it's a tough track in any sense of your imagination to master. And you see the guys that are running up front here and running pretty tight together, those first 3 to 5 cars. Actually, the first 12, 13, let's see. Yeah, I guess about the first 10, 11 cars are running within 3 seconds of each other. So they're starting to spread out a little bit, but from there, there's a big gap.
So I have confirmed our track map is correct.
Okay.
Turn 1 and 2 is that wider, but unfortunately, because of the angle where the backstretch kind of kicks down. Oh, caution's out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Caution's out. Why is the caution out? I just don't know.
No idea. I had my one screen set on following crashes, but it totally missed that one.
Yep, no idea why the caution came out, folks.
I thought I heard in the radio that Brendan McKee hit the wall and then spun down the track. Let's see.
Well, we can go back and look.
That's the 15 car.
Yeah. He definitely has some left front damage. Oh, there was somebody. There's a 5.
Ooh,
That's Zach
maybe
Carter.
it was the 5 that did it. Yeah.
See what happens at the 5 here.
Oh.
It's Juan Pablo.
Yeah. He's driving a loose race car. Watch that thing go sideways there. Wow.
Yeah, he just cut that corner just a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't take much.
Maybe got into the gas a little fast.
Yeah. Kept it off the wall there.
Did a great job of mostly keeping it together. No, overall, just a great job. Just flat spotted those tires.
Yeah.
That's
Everybody's
good for Zach Carter. Well, yep, absolutely.
Interesting though. First, well, I guess not. That's not true. There are 7 cars that did not pit. Grady Gherkin, Jake Mossow, Eric Jeffers, Dakota Reeder, Jeff Ramsdell, Steve Tucker, and Vernon Broadbeck all stayed out. Now, 2 of those guys, Steve Tucker and Vernon Broadbeck, had pitted on lap 13. But your top 5 right now is yet to hit pit road. Here we are 30 laps in.
Very interesting.
That's going to be a decision that either makes or breaks. Because they're going to have to pit in 20 laps, and nobody else is. So what's that going to do? Unless they just follow that pattern through the whole race. Looking at Matt Parasini there, he still holds fastest lap, which was on either lap 2 or 3. And still standing.
Our action alerts are popping up in the corner there. It's getting caught up. It was delayed. So yeah, hopefully it's caught up to all the action alerts now. So, all right, new features here in the IWM Broadcast Network that we don't always fully understand, but we appreciate trying to bring you the best and the most comprehensive bit of information as we watch for sim racing. Now, that being said, Grady Gherkin out in front with Jake Musso to the outside. These guys did not pit. Everybody else behind them
So they've got
in.
30 lap tires, and everybody else is new. So let's see.
All right, in the Sunoco restart zone, we're underway here. Grady Gherkin jumps out to a good jump. He's going to need it as those drivers, not just 6 cars back, are going to run up on top of these guys relatively quickly here. You can see it back here. They're 2 and 3 wide, mainly 2 wide.
Yeah, the guys on new tires are going to get down to the bottom, and they'll use a little bit
there's
of tire.
There's the 3 wide. Oh,
that.
Contact.
Yep. Oh, somebody in the wall there? Or did
Lucas Gortman was basically a sandwich, I think.
Yeah.
But they saved it. A lot of action in the back of the field as these guys see Kai Collimore there trying to work his way around. That's the 43 Country Time Lemonades car of Garrett Walden. Did we say that was a Bodine car, we thought, the Country Time?
That's a good question. I was thinking Waltrip, but Bodine may be correct. Maybe somebody out there on watching the stream can tell us.
Yeah, Jeff Bodine ran it, but he ran at number 7.
Okay.
Yeah. Tyler Lamb back in the pits for probably some repair. But Jake Musso out in front here. He's got himself around Grady Gherkin. Oh, whoa, what was going on right here? Matt Parasini dropped right out of that line, dropped all the way down to the inside there, and rockets his way back up. Caution's out again. Yeah. Keith Fonseca, I think, was involved. The 61 Jimmy John's car's got a little bit of damage on it.
When Matt Parasini took that dive down to the bottom, I think it sounded like he had a little bit of help. Looks like Brian Jones should get the lucky dog pass.
You see a lot of contact right there in the back. Are they 4 wide right now or more?
This is not a track to try that on. On the straightaway, you can get away with it, but boy, you got to get back up.
That's 4 wide right there.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick, Gaffin, Fonseca, and the 55 car, and all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, and then Jimmy Johns gets. I don't know if he got helped or if he got loose. He had to get tapped because he was still in the straightaway right there, I would think.
Wow, a lot of guys involved.
Yeah. And then there were guys in front of them that were losing it as well. I couldn't catch the number.
Not so shiny in that front nose. Got a little bit of damage on the 61.
Yep, that chrome's a little dented and scarred.
Yep, there goes the 81 of Jordan Wenzel out of the pits. All right, so we'll work on getting this race restarted. We've got 37 laps complete as we're working our way towards stage break. Lucky Dog won by Brian Jones.
Well, Jacob Mossau and Grady Gherkin still have not pitted. Also, Dakota Reeder and Eric Jeffers. So we have 4 cars now that have not pitted.
Well, Steve Tucker up there in the one, he pitted last on lap 13.
Yep. Matt Parasini's in the catbird seat. He pitted on lap 29, which was the caution right before this, and he's back up in the top 5. So
yep.
He's working his way back up to the lead after losing it on that first lap incident.
All right, as the field begins to put itself back together, pace car lights are turned off. Number of drivers are trying to get around to get reformed up here as we work our way down the middle of the backstretch.
Top 10, you see them right there. Massa, Gherkin, Reeder, Tucker, Parasini, Jeffers, LeBombard, Jotty, Gortman, and Walden. Oh, and we added another lap here. Lights are back on the pace car.
Yeah, there were a number of drivers that were struggling to get back around. But they're extending this caution for one more lap. Why? Because they like to.
You saw Brian Jones got the lucky dog. He's now in 33rd position, back on the lead lap. That leaves Corey Ennis, the only car one lap down right at the moment. Tyler Lem has been in a couple times for repairs. He's 10 laps down. Jacob Phillips is 15, and then Clark Franz and Shane Trotter are out.
Yep, they've packed up the hauler. They're headed back up.
Yeah, it looks like Tyler Lem just packed up his hauler as well.
Yep, 4 drivers have said enough.
Yep.
I mean, you said at the top of the broadcast, this is not an easy track. This is one.
No.
And the season doesn't get any easier because once we leave here, that we were in the West Coast swing, we did Phoenix, we did Vegas, but now we're here at Darlington, and if you think you're good, well, next week we're in Martinsville.
Very flat and very short.
Yep.
Very tight corners. That'll be an interesting race as well. Jake
Musso brings his field to the restart zone, and we are back underway. Green flag flies here at Darlington. Just 10 laps to go before the stage break. It's like a little break in the clouds.
Like Jake Moss out there.
There's a little break in the clouds. Sun's peeking out a bit. See some shadows there.
Back under caution again.
Joe Musso involved, unfortunately. 28 car was involved with maybe Garrett Walden. He's right there on the high side. Let's see the Canes car to his inside there. Oh, and Kai Collmore looks like he got in the back of the Country Time Lemonade 43, and unfortunately that has put a number of other cars. And you see the 28 with Joe Musso had no place to go.
Yep, just victim of circumstances there.
All right, no one's made a turn into the pits at the moment, but I expect a few drivers may just or not.
Oh, somebody with Vernon Broadbeck, Keith. Now we have some of the back markers that are heading in.
Yep.
In fact, almost everybody at the tail end of the field has gone in.
Yeah, all the guys that were involved in that incident as well, making their way down. See Joe Musso getting some repairs made, getting some fresh tires, getting back out there with just a handful of laps left before this stage break.
That gave Corey Ennis the lucky dog. He was the only car a lap down. That should put him back on the lead lap, and at that point, I think we have everybody that's running, at least at this point, is on the lead lap.
Unless they stay in the pits and don't come out. There are some folks taking extended time in the pits. We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, still Jones, Fonseca, Daffin still in the pits.
Yeah, Jones.
Oh, they're all coming out.
Yep. good.
It's very easy to get caught on pit road on this track. All right, our fourth caution of the night at lap 43. I'm guessing we'll see how this plays out. Again, lap 49. Lights are off. Okay, we should be going back to green now, and hopefully stay green through the stage break.
Heading into 3 and 4, and Jake Massa will lead us to the green flag as the pace car comes off.
Yeah, that's Grady Gherkin to the outside. The green flag flies. Field comes around out of turn 2. Jake Musso continues to lead here. We'll get a little bit more of a perspective here because these next few laps are going to be crazy as these drivers fight for position.
Yeah, and remember now, Jake Massa and Grady Gherkin still have not pitted, along with Dakota Reeder and Eric Jeffers. And remember, our pit window for fuel was somewhere between 50 and 55 laps. Here we are on lap 45, so they're not going to have much more than 10 laps left in the tank. So they will have to make, we stay yellow here, they're going to, or stay green, excuse me, they're going to have to pit shortly.
All right, nose to tail, single file here as these drivers continue to turn away here. Just 4 laps to go in this stage. Oh, Jake Musso just blinked there. That's not what you want to see.
Boy, and Eric Bombard got a run on him there for a minute. I faded back, but looked like he was coming strong. About a half second separates first and second right now. Sometimes when you get a blink and you're not expecting it, you have a tendency to lift just ever so briefly. But boy, that can make a difference. Eric Bombard's sneaking up on Jake Massa now.
He is running that wall high. Oh, contact with the wall. I think that was Lucas Gortman, possibly. No, I got that wrong. Maybe the 85, that is Dakota Reeder, who got a heck of a Darlington stripe on the right side of that car. He was solid into the safer barrier there.
You can scrape it and not do too much damage, but boy, if you get into it hard, if you misjudge the corner or all of a sudden the car gets tight on exit, you can do some serious damage hitting the wall at these speeds.
Popping back up front as Eric LeBombard is trying to close that gap to Jake Musso.
And he's doing it. He's down to 2/10 there on the entrance to turn 3. Now as they come through turn 4, get back on the LeBombard, little bit of contact, not much at all, but somebody.
That's the stage break right there. We made it to the stage.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I got so wrapped up in the action, I forgot the stage break was coming.
I think that order right there is our stage points. That's Musso, LeBombard, Gherkin, Pericini, Gortman, Irvin, Collymore, Tucker, Fitzpatrick, and Jeffers. I believe that will hold for our stage point winners. Again, this league follows along with NASCAR and done away with the win and you're in, and now it's all about the points.
That worked out really well for Jake Massa, Grady Gherkin and Eric Jeffers and Dakota Reeder. They made it to the stage break, and now they'll get the pit along with not everybody, but a lot of the drivers. I'm going to guess all the way back to 20th to 25th position, maybe. Several guys, those at the tail end, pitted on lap 41, so they may stay out here just to get some track position.
We shall see. Watching the leaders make their way down onto pit road along with the rest of the field.
Ooh, there we see the first one to stay out's Vernon Broadbeck and Jeff Ramsdale. Looks like Jordan Wenzel stayed out. And that may be it. That is it. Just those three guys. Broadbeck and Wenzel both pitted on lap 41 and Jeff Ramsdale on lap 36. So worst, they've got 14 laps. Jeff Ramsdale has 14 laps on his tires at the stage break. Jordan Wenzel and Vernon Broadbeck only had 9.
Eric Lombard just beats Jake Musso off out of pit road. He had a time of 14.95. That beats the pit stop of Jake Musso of 14.98. Just that little fraction made a difference. Yeah.
Boy. And then you got to factor in also the time coming to the pits. So one of them could have, whichever one came out second, that'd be Jake Mossow, could have been just a little slower getting to in and out of his pit.
Yeah, about 7/10.
Yep.
Overall. That was enough to put the 58 out in front of the 25 on this restart. But just like that, these guys are going to have to get through. Vernon Broadbeck is going to be in charge of this restart as we get this race back underway after our stage caution.
And those guys up front right now, Broadbeck, Ramsdale, and Jordan Wenzel, all running their best laps are sub 30, 29.7, 29.9. So good speed in those cars.
Absolutely, it's all about position here. We it's hard to pass and hard to see out in front. 34 cars still on the lead lap. I think Brian Jones was in getting some work done. He's back out on the track.
Yeah.
Wait, I take that back. I think he may be a lap down.
Yes, he is. He's a lap down now.
All right, here we go. Back underway. Vernon Broadbeck brings him through the Sunoco restart zone. And the green flag flies here at Darlington as we go back to racing with 94 laps to go. Well, if you follow NASCAR even just a little bit, that Bud 8 is familiar to most viewers.
Good looking paint scheme.
That's the Dale
those
Jr.
side skirts match.
Yep. That's Dale Jr.'s paint scheme. Right now it's Vernon Broadbeck's paint scheme as he continues to show the drivers the way here at Darlington. We'll go on board with Eric Lombard behind that number 8 as he takes over the lead, or attempts to. Oh no, he takes it right there.
Yep.
Well,
great pass there.
Yeah, absolutely. That may be the difference between pitting on lap 41 and pitting on lap 51 right there.
Yeah, he got his left sides down below that dotted white line on the entrance back there.
And he just set the newest fastest lap with a 29.38.
Wow. Yeah, it's not a whole lot faster than Matt Parasini's, but yet it's fastest lap. Doesn't have to be by much. That's a great view right there. Vernon Broadbeck's onboard camera in that number 8. He would rather be up in front of the 58 of Eric Bombard, but still in a good position. Very good position.
He's getting a little bit of a challenge right now.
Yeah, Jordan Wenzel just flew by him.
And he's got the 25 of Jake Musso on his inside left rear quarter panel.
This would be a great shot when we come off of the corner here, because you can see how that wall appears to jump out at you right there. All of a sudden, boom, there it is.
Well, you see the driver's hands react to it because it's very easy. Yeah, a little bit of wall contact there. Matt Parasini crashed. He's got a meatball. Not sure what happened. Parasini's been running great all day. And he's out.
Somehow, we didn't even get a caution on that.
That's
I'm not
interesting.
sure what happened.
Nope.
Yeah. If he crashed going by pit road and was able to slide down in there or what, but that's very unusual. He's coming up.
Oh.
The car in front of him looked like,
Yeah. Tie rod, suspension damage,
Yep.
and he's done.
Yeah. That's a shame. That was our pole sitter, folks. He got bumped on the first lap, put him back in the field, and
The caution has flown again here. Got Brennan McKee possibly got some damage. It's like a single car incident maybe. Well, we'll see about that.
oh yeah, well, he was headed towards the wall. Let's see. Oh, right. That's so weird. Lost it in the restart zone. Wonder if he just got into the throttle too quickly.
Super easy to do, and unfortunately that brings out our 6th caution here, lap 61. There's that average again, Jeff, just about 10 laps here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think our first green flag run was our longest.
Handful of drivers on pit road: Chase Berry, Gary Wells, Zach Carter, Joe Musso, Steve Tucker, Joe Torres, Keith Fonseca, and Brendan McKee from that incident.
Yeah, our leader on that last restart, Vern Broadbeck, is now down to 7th. That's what happens when you're on 10-lap older tires.
Yep.
Although Jordan Wenzel doing a great job on his 10-lap down tires, he's still up there in 2nd. But all the rest of the leaders up through P6 were on that recent lap 51 stage break.
It's a great paint scheme that they did for that 58.
Yeah, the
Jeff
good old
Gordon.
Rainbow Warriors. Yep.
Yep.
Well, Brian Jones, on a long pit stop here. Oh, now, sorry, he's on a 2nd pit stop. Joe Mossow back out. Looks like Brendan McKee, Joe Torres, and Keith Fonseca are also back out.
Brian Jones does get the lucky dog.
Yep.
Now you'll get that lucky dog as long as you're not involved in the incident. That's the key factor there.
Yeah. Zach Carter had an extended pit stop, and he's now a lap down. Keith Fonseca is probably going to go 2 laps down. He's still in the pits. Oh, he's on his way out. Looks like was able to save that second lap, and so you're going to see Keith Fonseca and Zach Carter and Keith Fonseca battle for that lucky dog.
All right, lights are off on the pace car as the 58 of Eric LeBombard brings the field towards the Sunoco restart zone. 2 by 2 as we get this back underway here. And the green flag flies. You know, these shorter tracks, it really gives the leader a good opportunity there to jump out, get away from the trouble, stay in clean air, and just stay ahead of what's happening behind him for at least a little bit.
A lot of position changes mid-pack here. You see guys jockeying. Or you see it at the end there where you see a lot of guys 2 wide, sometimes even 3 wide there after those restarts. Vernon Broadbeck drops back 1 more spot to 8th now. Those tires just not doing him any favor. Same with Jeff Ramsdale. He's back to 11th position. He's on. He last pitted on lap 36. Here we're up to 66, so his tires are 30 laps old. He's really going to be feeling it, and yep. I'm afraid that Vernon Broadbeck is going to be feeling it here pretty soon. Jordan Wenzel hanging in there. He did drop 1 spot to 3rd, but he's on the same thing. 41 lap was when he pitted, so he's got 26 laps on his tires.
If Jordan Wenzel continues to show off here, he's up. He's solidly in 3rd. He was able to leverage that stage break and make it work.
Here's the interesting thing. Jordan Wenzel's last lap was a 29.6, which is faster than some guys' fastest laps. And he's on tires that are, what we say, 26 to 27 laps old.
Yeah.
Biggest
mover
job.
Is your leader. Oh, who almost just, I think he clipped the wall there.
Yeah,
up 29
down
spots.
Quite a bit.
And
25 had a good run on him, but he was able to come back.
Well, they're door to door here as they're trying to battle for the lead between LeBombard and Jake Musso. Jake Musso capitalized on that little bit of wall contact with the 58 and LeBombard. Oh, contact!
Oh,
the head to the...
Oh my!
Caution flies here as LeBombard and Musso get together.
Yeah, Jacob Mossau and Eric LeBombard not happy with each other. little
dialogue.
He said, she said, or in this case, he said on the radio as to whose fault that was.
So we're going to leverage the value of iRacing here and allow us to look at this from a chase camera here. We see, and we're watching these drivers as they and importantly here, you can see the You can see that those grooves with the sealer that's in between those grooves, that helps us to align the driver and the car. Who comes down, who goes up, and then who makes contact. We're watching that. You see the 58 comes down a little bit here, and then the 25 just runs up a little bit,
Runs
makes
right into him.
contact. Yep. So if I had to say where that fault lies, and then of course at this point, I think they're trying to figure out.
A little retaliation.
Yeah,
and,
a little bit of contact there. So
Sounds like they were trying to make up on the radio there. They watched the replay. A lot of cars in the pits.
Yep. Pretty much about half the field now on pit road.
Yeah.
Jordan Wenzel now finds himself in the lead here. Lap 71 of 147. We're just about to get to halfway, and Zach Carter looks like he will get the lucky dog.
Yeah, Jake Mossau is out of the pits now. Had a little longer pit stop, about a 20-second pit stop. Eric Bombard is also out. He had a 55-second pit stop, so he's going to end up right behind Jake Mossau on the track, or right beside him, one or the other on the restart here. It looks like he'll be in the next row.
Yeah, but that puts these guys back in 27th position.
Yeah, 26th and 27th. So let's hope they've mended fences and we don't see a little more bumping.
Another notable, Kai Collmore is up to 4th. He started back. He gained 27 positions. I think he was back in 31st when he started this race.
Wow. Yeah, Seth Patrick as well. He's back. He's in the top 10 in 9th position. He's up 29 from where he started. And it looks like he's on a normal pit strategy. He's running pretty much the same as everybody else up front. This will be interesting. Our leader, Jordan Wenzel, is going to take the green flag in that number 46. And he's got 10 lap older tires than everybody else. But like Joe Mossau, he seems to be doing a great job managing those tires.
Green flag flies. Jordan Wenzel leads the field. But he's got some battle with Grady Gherkin right behind him. Grady's got about 10 laps of fresher tires than the 41. But Jordan Wenzel has clean air in front of him.
Well, if you can get out to a lead like that, it does so much for a driver. It not only gives you clean air, but it lets you pick your line. You don't have to worry about what anybody else is running unless you've got somebody right on their tail that's trying to pass. When you've got, 2-3 car length lead like that, you can run whatever line feels comfortable to you, whatever line your car likes and your driving style likes. And you couple that with clean air, and it's tough to pass the leader.
Wenzel continues to lead. Grady Gherkin right behind. You got Lucas Gortman behind him as well. Paul Irvin, Kai Collmore, Keenan Shoddy. Now is working to try and get around Kai Collmore.
Jordan Wenzel's got probably 35 laps of fuel left, where everybody behind him has 10 more. So it'll be interesting now to see if we stay green, what kind of decisions he has to make and what the guys behind him do.
Well, we're past the halfway point here at Darlington. I want to thank those of you who are tuning in live to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS Racing Series. And just as I say that, caution flies here. Garrett Wallen involved in a wreck in that Country Time Lemonade 43.
Now here comes the big question for Jordan Wenzel. Does he pit with 36 laps on his tires?
Also,
he's shown a willingness to stay out.
You can see the 17 also must have been involved in that, because I'm not sure that car is straight. He's got a meatball flag, and he is going to be coming down to get some repairs done.
Yeah, Chase Berry hits the pits now in that 17.
He'll get the bad news when he hits his pit stall, and they'll tell him just how long he's got to stay there while they make repairs. Sometimes it's relatively quick, others not so much.
Yeah, it's amazing though. iRacing does such a great job with the physics and the programming. How realistic they can make this. Well,
it's that time.
Jordan Wenzel saw everybody else coming, so he decided to come. Well, at least the car that was in second place came with him.
Yeah, Lucas Corbin stays out. Kai Collmore, Paul Irvin, they stay out, and really just a handful of drivers are coming in. Wenzel, Gherkin, Vernon Broadback, Joe Musso, Matt Patek, Walton, Daffin, McKee, Torres, and Garrett Walton on pit road.
Yeah,
so they're running an alternating strategy here for repairs.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see which one plays out the best. Everybody's going to have to pit at least one more time. So nobody can make it the rest of the way on fuel unless we have an absolute ton of cautions, which, knock on wood, we don't want to see that.
All right, that puts the number 6 of Lucas Corbin out in front for this restart.
Yeah, that drops Jordan Wenzel back to 20th, quite a ways back, but he's the first car on new tires.
Just as an update, if you were following Eric LeBombard and Jake Musso, they've now moved up to 16th and 17th as they try to hunt back for the lead. Lights are off on the pace car. As you see, drivers are coming out of pit road to rejoin the field as they make their way back to the start-finish line. This field is forming
doesn't look
back
like
up.
Everybody beat the pace car, does it?
Well, I think so. I think the 3 was the last guy out. That's Joe Torres.
There's one car still down on the apron. I'm not sure what he's doing or who that is. I can't see the number from here. Is that towards the back of the field, though? He must be getting into the longest line.
Yeah, I think that's Austin Walton right there in the Canes. Interesting note, they just opened the Canes up here not far from me here in North Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah, well, we're a big Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. That's right. That puts Brian Jones and Austin Walton battling for the lucky dog, both 1 lap down.
All right,
next.
Green flag flies here. Lucas Corbin out in front. Kai Collmore jumps into second. Good move by that driver in the 39. But right behind him, Seth Fitzpatrick and Paul Irvin. They're battling door to door, and right behind them, that's Keenan Shoddy trying to figure out. Oh, and they're wrecking behind.
Again.
The 8 goes around, the 5 goes around, the 4 is involved. Not a good day to have a single digit on your car.
No.
That left front on Carter's car, it ain't moving. He is done.
He's going to get towed.
So the caution flies here once again here for the 9th time tonight with 82 laps flying. for an incident at the back of the field where Broadback, Carter, and somebody else got involved. I think it was Brian Jones, possibly. Brian Jones has had a tough night tonight.
He has.
Trying to figure out exactly just what happened here.
Oh, somebody spun up in front of them. Oh, that was the 8 and is that the 5? The target car?
Yeah, there's contact. The target looks like he got the inside of the 8.
Yep.
Sending the 8 around, sending Vernon around. And that unfortunately collects a little bit. They backed into the 46.
Yeah, and some of you at home may say, well, why didn't those cars behind them just turn rather than pile into them? Well, when you're at speed in the middle of the corner, you can't turn the wheel much or you're going to spin your car as well. So sometimes it's take your chances, see if you can miss it.
All right, so those drivers who were involved in the back half of the field from 23rd position on back are in the pits at the moment.
Another 8 or 10 cars in the pits again.
It's a good opportunity if you have damage, but you're not able to get it repaired all at the same time. You can keep ducking into the pits, work a little bit on your car, come back out.
Everybody except Zach Carter is back out on the track right now. Zach is still in the pits. He's up over 2 minutes on his pit stop, so getting some serious work done in there.
So far we lost let's get a count here. 7 cars have officially retired tonight. Berry, Young, Parasini, Lem, Phillips, Franz, and Trotter. It's just very easy if you get caught and coming off of turn 2, you spin. You know that inside wall is not forgiving at all.
Nope.
So Lucas Corbin has elected to take the inside line. Kai Collmore to the outside as he brings the field towards the Sunoco restart zone. Always a bit of chess here to figure out when do you go. Do you go early? Do you go later? Do you hold it back? And
boy, another good start.
Yep.
Lucas Corbin jumps out there.
Takes an opportunity to slide up to the higher line, which is the preferred line. Behind him, there's a battle of 41 of Seth Fitzpatrick, was able to slip under the 39 of Kai Collmore and take over second. Musso and LeBombard up to 15th and 16th. I think all these restarts actually favor them and help them to try and cut back through the field. Bunches everybody up, and sometimes you can gobble up a position or two relatively easy. And right there's a lot going on right here. This battle here.
That restart there was not good for Jordan Wenzel. If you remember, he pitted and put himself from up front to back around 18th spot, and now he's dropped to 20th. And just his teammate Garrett Walden, they were running together, but Garrett Walden's up to 18th now, and Jordan's dropped a couple spots.
Big battle here. This is like 4th, 5th, 6th right here. Corey Ennis in the 27 to the outside. Oh, there's contact going around.
Ooh,
27, just talking about, sorry, Corey, broadcaster's curse, maybe. Just singing your praises, and yeah, around you go.
Fortunately, it didn't look like he did much damage, if any. He tapped that inside wall ever so slightly, but I don't think he's going to see any repercussions from that.
So a lot of battles here. These guys were tight. That's the 0. You got the 39 of Kai Collimore. See if we can get a different shot here. Try and get us a little bit better.
Right there.
It was like he got a little loose and tried to correct it, but unfortunately, it ended up going down and cutting across the nose of the 39.
Yeah, I don't think he had any help on that one after all.
Unfortunately. But, again, as you noted earlier, it doesn't look like there's a lot of damage. So
tough break for that mellow yellow car. We were talking before the race, the very first live NASCAR race I saw was in Pocono, and the mellow yellow car with Kyle Petty at the wheel won that race.
Hooked you forever.
Yep.
Couple drivers on pit road: Kai Collimore, Gary Wells, Paul Irvin, Grady Gherkin, and a handful of other drivers are making their way back down onto pit road. Again, we've got a bunch of different pit strategies, or maybe it's not even a strategy. So, there's taking opportunities when they come to run down to pit road. Your 10th cautions have flown here, lap 90 of 147. So we're creeping up on this race, closing out. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, still anybody that pits now is still going to have to. Well, it'll be with this many cautions, maybe not. This is going to be right close to the final pit window.
Yeah, it would be
55 laps. Yeah,
it'd be amazing if we could go green to the end of the race.
Boy, wouldn't it? Still have several guys in the pits getting a little bit of work done judging by the times. Brendan McKee's making his way out after a 33-second pit stop. Kay Collymore is still in there, a little over a minute. Alec Daffin's coming up on a minute on his pit stop. Same with Brian Jones. Poor Brian's done a lot of laps in the pits tonight, but fortunately he's still only one lap down, and he's back out on the track. Good for him. He's done a great job at managing his repair pit stops tonight.
Absolutely.
Zach Carter still in the pits, 9 laps down, but Kay Collymore and Brian Jones, those two cars are both 1 lap down. They'll battle for the next lucky dog. They'll be right next to each other, side by side, back in 29th and 30th.
All right, lights are off on top of the pace car as the field makes its way back, headed towards turn 3 as we get this race back underway. Right now, your leader, Lucas Gortman, is in charge of the restart. He's on the outside line. To the inside, he's got Seth Patrick in that familiar Kodiak paint scheme. And here we go. Good jump by the 6. The Steve Tucker right behind did a pretty good job. Well, I think his paint scheme shows a 0. He got him scoring at where he's actually a 1. Can't actually be a 0. I think that's reserved for the pace car here at iRacing. But right there on the tail of Lucas Gorman. They hold that high line.
Looks like Brian Jones got some bad news. I think he's going to have to serve a penalty here.
Yep, he's got a black flag. Can't tell you what that black flag is for, but...
Sounded on the radio like he ran through too many pit stops. coming into his pit or coming out, one or the other.
So that's fairly typical. You're only allowed, because through the magic of iRacing, you could drive straight through the pits to your pit position, but they try to keep it as real as possible. You can do it for so many, maybe 2 or 3, and he may have taken advantage of that. And he'll serve the penalty for it. All right, Lucas Corbin out in front, and we're single file behind. Take a look farther back. The 55 of Vince Burns has had a pretty good contact with the wall, and look at that. Eric Lombard now finds himself back up to 6th and gets around Vince Burns.
Yeah, that 58 is a good, fast car tonight. Eric Lombard doing a great job wheeling that car around, making his way back up there. Still holding on to fastest lap. In good position on tires. He last pitted on lap 70. So he's up there with the majority of the field. Some of the guys towards the back of the field just went in for those last couple pit stops on the last couple cautions. Got a few guys. Joe Mossau, his last lap, well, next to last lap was his fastest lap of the race. Another sub 30 fast lap.
A lot of action right behind him, looking at Jake Russo trying to find his way around the 55. But he now finds himself behind Eric Lombard. He's in 7th, and Eric's back in 6th. Saw 55 drag the wall there.
That is not something Vince Burns wants to do very many times.
No, you can get away for a little bit, but eventually you're going to have to pay the piper. And side by side, there's the Kroger car there. So that's Mike Wheel in the 96. Air track car. Oh, a little bit of contact almost with the 10. He slid up just a tiny little bit.
Yeah.
That's Matthew Wheeler in the 10.
Both guys did a good job at avoiding a much more serious event there.
Back up front, Lucas Corbin's doing pretty well, but right behind him, see Seth Fitzpatrick. He's got his hands full. He's got Keenan Shoddy behind him in the 45, Steve Tucker behind him, and then Dakota Reeder, who has a rearview mirror full of Eric Lombard as he tries to get around. Oh, they're wrecking in the back. Saw that Valvoline car going around.
Well, it looks like he's the only casualty. Caution flag comes out again in lap 101.
Yes, that's Brady Boatwright there, who is involved in that incident. I was looking everywhere to figure out just who that was, and I should just looked at the telemetry.
It looks like Brian Jones is going to get both or one of his laps back. He's 2 laps down right now, according to timing and scoring.
Looks like the 46. That's Grady Gherkin. May have given the 89 a little bit of help in going around.
And then is that the 27 that gets caught up in that then?
Yeah, he wound up pretty much right behind him, and unfortunately he was another victim. And then the 42.
On the 42 as well.
Yep, nail in the coffin
like
there.
Corey Ennis in that 27. Well, he's in the pits now. Maybe just precautionary, or maybe because he was his tires were getting a little old anyway. But
I would say at this point, the majority of the field is in the pits now. Dakota Reeder, Paul Irvin, Grady Gherkin, and Gary Wells stayed out. Everybody else is in.
And this is definitely, if we were going to stay green the whole time, this would be their last stop. Everybody's got enough to make it, except the 4 cars at the front of the field are going to be questionable. Dakota Reeder, I don't see how he can make it. He last pitted on lap 70. Paul Irvin, Grady Gherkin, Gary Wells last pitted on lap 89.
They may be close.
They'll be close. If we get several cautions, they could make it.
Yeah, well, we're 11. This is our 11th caution of the night. This is lap 102. So we're going back with about 44, 43 laps to finish the race.
This will be interesting, though, if this is at least the first race I've called with unlimited green-white checkers. So your fuel strategy can kind of go out the window if you go crazy on the green-white checkers.
Yeah, if you know it's going to have to end with the winner, which is what that green-white checker does, it has to end under green. That's what that strategy says. No, you just can't wind up just calling it.
Yeah.
It could be interesting, especially on these shorter tracks. Here, Martinsville, and others. It's going to be very interesting. All right, so Dakota Reeder is out in front. He's got Paul Irvin to his inside. Pace car drops off. Dakota Reeder brings the field to the Sunoco restart zone. And he held the entire field till he just almost closed out. That kind of that did wonders for the field there. That kept the whole field together tight, and that played out well for Dakota Reeder.
Yep.
Track like this, that strategy can really play havoc through the field by stacking up that inside line.
Yeah, people try to time what you're going to do as the leader, and so somebody will get in the gas and then nobody else goes, so he's got to slow down, and then you start getting that accordion effect. But those guys all came through that pretty good.
I think the big factor here is a good bit of this field, well, nearly the entire field is on fresh tires, ready to go, and Dakota Reeder is on 35 lap old tires. Now, of course, some of that was under caution, so.
Yep.
But heck, we saw how just 10 laps makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And the next closest cars to him have almost 19 laps less on their tires, and some go up even another 10 or 12 over that. Tires, name of the game tonight. We talked early at the beginning of the race about how we thought there'd be a lot of comers and goers, and I thought it was going to be because of tire management. But I think it's been all the cautions that have done it, and it's some of our leaders. We have one leader that's out. We have a couple other leaders that are back at the back of the field. Can't seem to fight their way back out of there yet. So it's been a very interesting race tonight. It's hard to say what strategy is working. Just stay out of wrecks. That's the strategy that's working in my book.
Well, these guys, they've got a relatively new car in effect here. They've got more horsepower, less downforce, and the caution flies. Again, Tony Japp's involved in the 42. But they're going to have a lot of opportunity here to figure out this car, because when we leave here, we go to Martinsville. It'll have the same configuration there. After Martinsville, we get a week off. I think that's Easter break. and then we go to Bristol, and that'll be the same configuration. So we got relatively 3 short tracks in a row before we ever get back to a mile and a half at Kansas.
Well, by Bristol, they ought to have it figured out.
I would hope so, because
You want to have it figured out at Bristol.
We got 250 laps at Bristol in 3 weeks. So.
Oh man.
They'll get it. They'll figure it out.
Zach Carter still in the pits. He's got a 20-minute pit stop going right now. Brian Jones still 2 laps down. I thought that he got one of those back, but evidently not. Gary Wells just went to the pits again. Oh, several people ducking in. Kay Collymore, Vince Burns, Matthew Patak, Austin Walton, Joe Mossow, Keith Fonseca.
So we're watching
Tony Japs all in the pits.
Watch the replay of that Tony Japs incident here. See him? He's all by himself up on the wall right there, just kind of minding his own P's and Q's. And then you get the 55 of Vince Burns under him, and there's a little bit of contact. And unfortunately, he goes around. Unfortunately, that's a Brian boat right there, or Brady boat right there. There's gets involved there, and around they go.
I wonder if that 42 lifted just a hair as that car came across his nose, and that let the car behind him just tap him just enough to get him out of shape.
Yep, doesn't take much. Well, with less downforce and more horsepower. You know, I was watching an interview with Denny Hamlin. He was talking about the same thing, what the NASCAR drivers are going to face Sunday. He's afraid of the same thing. Lots of cautions, lots of potential incidents with more horsepower and less downforce. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the drivers ask for, but there's a price to pay to get it, and that's that learning curve.
Well, you know, what he said was this puts the race back in the hands of the driver. You've got to be able to wheel the car, and it's not just, you know, just riding around saving fuel.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I like the changes, and even though in the short term it's going to likely breed more cautions. At least we've seen that tonight. But I think in the long term, Denny's absolutely right. It puts it back in the hands of the drivers, and that's what the drivers wanted. So be careful what you ask for. You might get it.
All right, lights are off on the pace cars. Dakota Reeder is back in charge. He's taking a little bit different approach. I think he's taking that inside line to his outside, Paul Irvin.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago that Dakota Reeder was a little ways back in the field.
A little bit of stack up on the outside line there. That really, Paul Irvin did not get it going.
I wonder if he, speaking of more horsepower, I wonder if he just got a little wheel spin there. And
well, he's on.
That'll stack up everybody behind you.
Yeah. He's on lap 89 tires-wise, so he's not terribly off, but...
Yeah, Dakota Reeder got a great restart on lap 70 tires, so he's 43 tires right now, 43 laps on his tires. Oop, little wall contact there from our leader.
Too wide as they try to figure out just how to get around here. Oh, contact! They're wrecking. 46.
Oh my!
46 involved. That's Grady Gherkin.
He got the worst of it. But he's going again.
But also, my notes said Vernon Broadback, Mike Wheel, Grady Gherkin, and Gary Wells all involved.
Well, we'll see what kind of damage we get as those cars make their way back around and get to turn 4. Let's see if they duck into the pits.
There's just not a lot of room for error when you're up there on the wall. You just don't have options there. The 41 is right there. I think that's where some contact took place with the 41 as well. I could be completely wrong. That's what I see. Yeah, looks like there's some inside left rear involved with the 41 there.
41 does a great job of saving it and making it around that.
Yeah, that's
46 car.
Seth Patrick there. Did I say Seth Patrick? Seth Fitzpatrick. Sorry about that.
Well, that 46 of Grady Gherkin is in the pits. Looks like he's on his way. Oh no, he's still in there. Just got started on his pit stop. Paul Irvin is on the way out, and now Grady Gherkin took 2 tires and a little bit of fuel, I'm guessing. He's out quick with a 7 3/4 second pit stop.
All right, that puts Dakota Reeder
right side.
Yeah, Dakota Reeder's back up still in front. These short runs with the yellows that are coming out like they are really helping Dakota Reeder stay out there with 70 laps on these tires. You know, if this pace continues like this, he could make it all the way to the end like this. There's only 32 laps left.
Yeah, that would put him, let's see, 77 laps. That's a stretch even with all these cautions, but he might be able to do it. He's doing some significant fuel saving right now.
Yeah, next time
I'll
by.
put him in,
yeah, check it out.
I put him in the not likely but possible category here.
Well, you know, he also may be waiting for one of those opportunities where everybody runs to the pits. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Seth Fitzpatrick's up there in what's he in 3rd or 4th, and man, he's jumped 35 spots since the beginning of the race.
Yeah, he's absolutely. I think he is our biggest gainer of the evening.
Yep.
You are correct. Followed by the driver to his inside. That is going to be Eric LeBombard back in the top 10. Forgive me, top 5.
Yeah.
All right, Dakota Reeder does it again, and he's out there bringing this field in. Let's see where he chooses to. He waits to the end of the restart zone, and Dakota Reeder takes the opportunity to do it again.
And he likes to see Seth.
Watch that contact between the 58 and the 41 there. They were door to door, and there's even some more beating and banging going on right behind them. More contact.
Yeah, you see their position 2 through about 10. Those guys are really going for it now. With,
that's Eric Jeffers that was touching and scraping the safer barrier there, but the 58 and the 41 are door to door here. Still, the only person that's helping is the 85 of Dakota Reeder.
Yeah, less than 30 laps to go now too. So Dakota Reeder out there with a good lead. He likes seeing all those guys fight for position behind him. That just lets him go longer in clean air.
Yeah, look right behind. You got Jake Musso now. He's back up to 4th. As these early leaders are now finding their way back up to the front when it counts. Tight battle there. Steve Tucker goes around. He's out of shape with Jake Musso.
Great save. Wow.
Somehow Jake Musso, I think, blinked and came back and is in good shape. Fitzpatrick continues to hold on to that second position. Eric LeBombard tried it, was not able to get around him. Those guys both came in at lap 101, so they're on the same strategy, pit and fuel-wise. So. A lot of contact all the way back in this field as these laps begin to wind down. Just 28 laps to go, and as
caution is out again.
Vernon Broadback involved in that number 8. Vernon has had a heck of a night tonight.
He has. Can't catch a break here towards the last half of the race.
Not sure what happened with the 15 of McKee. Goes across his nose. The 8 gets, and then, wow, that's amazing. I'm not sure just what's going on there, but yeah. Oh.
I don't know if I couldn't tell if the 8 got tapped there or he just felt it getting loose and overcorrected. He took a hard hit, though, into that outer safer barrier.
Yeah, there's 2 cars going around, and in front of him, the 15 and the 14.
He tries to miss him.
Yeah, and unfortunately gets some major
right
contact.
Up in, but how could he go between those 2 cars
and
not make contact with either one of them? That was unreal.
Well, Dakota Reeder is having to pay the piper. He is now on pit road.
That's probably a good decision, unfortunately.
Yep. Unfortunately, that's going to put him back somewhere about 20th or so when this field comes back together.
Hey, but he got to lead some laps. Did a good job while he was up there.
Also on pit road, LeBombard as well. Taking an opportunity for some probably some fresh tires.
And Dakota Reeder's had a fast car tonight. His best lap time is his best lap time is a 29.5. Very respectable.
Well, that puts Seth Fitzpatrick up in front. He'll have Jake Musso, Jordan Wenzel, and Eric Jeffers. That will be your front row. That's a lot of veterans there that he'll find himself in good company with as we get this race back underway in just a lap or 2.
Well, the interesting thing will be all the guys that just pitted will have, 26 laps to the finish of the race from when they pitted. So that means everybody else is going to have 30 plus up to 45. So some of these guys in the back, Dakota Reeder being one of them, Joe Mossa, well, he pitted on 114. Eric Lombard, I don't know how much damage he has, if any, but he's still got a shot because he's going to have fresher tires at the end. Those 2 guys, I think, are the fastest cars back there.
All right, Seth Fitzpatrick takes that outside line. He's got Jake Musso to his inside as they work their way towards the Sunoco restart zone. And we're back underway here at Darlington.
Jake Mossa must have spun his tires just a little bit because he got a jump, but then you saw a little bit of a wiggle and he dropped back. So I'm guessing that, and just got into the wall.
Still solid though. He's now to the inside.
Wow.
Attempting a pass to the lead. Great run by the 25. A little bit of contact there as he tries to manhandle his way in front of, but Seth Fitzpatrick's not having it, holds him off. Caution flies again.
Out again. Oh man. Oh, you see there's a car towards the back of the field there sideways.
Garrett Walden, Paul Irvin involved. Guys don't look too much too worse for wear here. All right. Well, this benefits Seth Fitzpatrick here for sure.
Yes, definitely. And Jake Mossau and Jordan Wenzel up there in the top 3. Those guys, I think we're going to see a good battle. All of them on the same age tire, and actually everybody up through P8. They have 25 laps on their tires right at the moment.
We'll go back to racing with about 18 laps to go, I'm thinking. Somewhere about there.
Seth Fitzpatrick using these restarts to his advantage, keeping him up front. It's tough to get those guys that are on fresh tires just don't have enough time between cautions to make much headway.
Our drivers are still on pit road. Paul Irvin, Keith Fonseca, Garrett Walden, Mike Wheel, Tony Japs. This is our 15th caution of the night. Again, Seth Fitzpatrick will have his hands full. He does have. We saw Jake Musso aggressively trying to take that lead away. He knows if you're up in front and you're on a relatively short track like Darlington, like other short tracks, cautions fly, and when they do, you guarantee yourself you're out in front for 3-4 laps at a time.
Yeah, and it's good. The closer we get to the finish, I think the more that aggression rises. These guys realize their best opportunity to pass is on the restart or shortly after it. And so I think, unfortunately, that could breed cautions as well. But one thing it does is it ramps up the excitement meter quite a bit.
All right.
About 19 to go now.
Yep. Right. We're winding down here. Thanks again for tuning in, folks. This race is slowly coming to an end here under a caution-filled event. Lots of action here. These are relatively new cars these drivers had under them tonight, and you can tell it's been a challenge. All right, Seth Fitzpatrick brings it down to the restart zone, and off we go. Oh, the tires spin on the 25 of Jake Musso, who was not able to hold that together, and that opened the door for the 12 of Eric Jeffers and Jordan Wenzel to take that spot away.
Yep, still not used to the more horsepower and old tires.
Look at that, wrecking in behind.
Somebody went around back there.
Caution, that's
caution.
Joe Musso. I don't think that caution has flown.
No, not yet.
Joe Musso is still under power, so caution should not come out. He just not stopped on the track. With that, Jordan Wenzel gets out around Eric Jeffers. Sorry we missed that, folks. We're trying to figure out what was happening back there. And he sets his sights on Seth Fitzpatrick with just 18 laps to go.
Jordan Wenzel, a multi-time winner in this sport, in this league. Making a run for it again, because he's got a tough battle with Seth Fitzpatrick. Seth does not want to give this up, and now Seth Fitzpatrick has the fast lap of the race. So 29.2. So you can tell he is not going to give it up.
Nope. Fastest lap on relatively older tires. That proves that the tires not so much a factor. There's a lot of action happening just behind them. We're door to door here. Here it is right there. Sorry, we're missing that a little bit. It's 27 of Corey Ennis, 45 of Keenan Shoddy out there battling hard with Kai Collymore.
It wasn't that long ago Kai Collymore was back towards the back of the field.
Oh, yeah, I think it was a lap down. He got it back.
Yeah, so done a great job rebounding. He's gained 24 spots since the start of the race. A lot of those here recently, I think. Guys are calling for a caution, and there it is.
There it is. Austin Walton spun. He got it around. That's the 9 Canes car.
Race control came on several laps ago, probably 20 laps ago, and told the guys if they see something that he hasn't seen, and iRacing doesn't call a caution, and they feel it needs it, to shout out caution, caution, and he would throw it. And there were multiple drivers calling for a caution right there.
So it looks like there's, I think that's the 58 of Eric LeBombard, door to door.
Oh, it looks like, does he come up?
Need a better angle. Hang on, looking
Yeah.
for.
He's. There you go.
To the 46 to the outside. They're both fighting for the
comes up
same.
Just a hair. Yeah.
He gets by, but the 46 is out of shape, and that comes down right in front of the 9. Nowhere to go for the 9.
Yeah.
And Austin Walton eats the inside safer barrier, and then gets, if adding a little insult to injury, you see the 46 come there, and that's Grady Gherkin, some additional contact there. So tough break for the 9.
See both of those guys in the pits. See the Country Time car in the pits there.
Yep, Joe Torres still with the black flag. Zach Carter with the meatball. Sorry, Zach Carter still trying to get repairs. 43 minutes later, still trying to get repairs made. But if you can stay in the pits, he's trying to get repairs made. If you can ever get back out, every point counts. So.
Yeah, Zach Carter's he doesn't have enough time to make up. Gary Wells is in front of him right now, 21 laps down. So there's not enough laps left.
Nope.
In the race for Zach to catch up. But he can sit there in the pits and watch his buddies race.
That's right. All right, we've got just a handful of laps left. Our 16th caution of the night has flown. Will it be the last one? Don't know. Don't think so. I wouldn't bet on it. Seth Fitzpatrick finds himself again continuing out in front. Again, these yellows have been his friend.
Also, friends to Brian Jones. He's made up both of his laps. And is now up to 25th position on the lead lap. Right behind him is Lucas Gortman, and then Austin Walton, the last car on the lead lap right now. Joe Torres is first car 5 laps down, but he's still in a long pit stop. So Lucky Dog's going to shake out here for a little bit.
All right, Seth Fitzpatrick is in charge. He's got the outside line to his inside. Jordan Wenzel behind those two, Jake Musso and Eric Jeffers. All right, Seth Fitzpatrick leads them down to the restart zone. We'll see how he holds the field this time. not too long, and off we go. Oh, it's 25. Gets contact.
Oh.
We're wrecking again right from the beginning.
Big wreck at the back there.
That wreck was at the front. Pretty much all the field involved. It began with the 25, I think, of Jake Musso. I could be wrong on that. We'll go back and take a look at it. But a lot of drivers involved here. You know, there's a lot of frustration I bet on the track. Let's go to our.
I was looking at timing and scoring. By the time I looked up, they were all at the back of the field. I thought the wreck happened at the back. Here we go. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we're entering the restart zone right here. Field goes. I'm watching the 25. He goes right. He spins his tires, goes in the wall, and then comes down into the 12. And then this is right at the front of the pack. That's the 39 of Kai Collmore down below. But there's a lot going on behind them. As you can see, the 55 of Vince Burns is involved. The whole field is the 50. That's Erica Bombard. Lots of drivers involved here at this wreck.
Yeah, once they start mixing it up there towards the front, then the guys behind them have to figure out, where am I going to go?
Well, they're checking up, and unfortunately, people behind them are not getting the message.
Yep. That's one of the difficult things about these cars. You can't see very well through the windshield of the car in front of you. Like when we drive our street cars, we can usually see through the window, the rear window, and the windshield of the car in front of us and see the car in front of him, and sometimes a few cars up. Well, these guys can't do that. That spoiler comes up and the rake of the back window, and it's just it's almost impossible to see anything. Your spotter's got to tell you what's going on, and then you've got that delay where the spotter has to see it, realize it, and say it, and by then 2 or 3 cars are into each other.
Well, a lot of drivers involved here in that last incident. We'll see what we can do here on this restart.
Seth Fitzpatrick and Jordan Wenzel, Jake Mossau are eating this up right now. And then you've got Keanan Shoddy and Corey Ennis making out that top 5.
With just a handful of laps to go.
Yeah. Seth Fitzpatrick, we talked about it earlier, not only leading the race, but he has also come from next to last to get there. He's come up 37 positions tonight. Just an incredible job by Seth Fitzpatrick. Some of it has been strategy. Some of it's been great driving. Some of it's been the cautions. But I think if you ask Seth, he'll say, whatever it was, I'm going to take it. And along the way, set fastest lap. From next to last to first, set fastest lap. And here he is leading with about 7 laps or so to go.
Yeah, 6 at the
6
green.
laps.
Here we go, back underway.
8 to go.
Yep, Seth Fitzpatrick out in front. Jordan Wenzel, Keanan Shoddy right there behind. Jake Musso there. These guys have got a handful of laps left to try and pull this off. Already there's a wreck in the back.
Oh man.
We're still green at this point. And there's the caution flying. I think that was Brendan McKee who spun here back in 23rd. We'll take one look at this quickly here.
Oh, he did that all on his own.
Yep.
Fortunately, doesn't look like any contact with anybody else, but Looks like he probably spun the tires. You see that rear end kick out on him.
Yep. All right, that was our 18th caution here, lap 142 of 147. By the time this goes back, we're only going to have a couple laps left. Well, we certainly appreciate those of you who have stayed tight to watch this action-packed fill the vent here with the iNRS Racing Series. Just to give you an update as to our schedule for next week. Next Wednesday, we will be broadcasting the IWM Series. We'll be here at Darlington with that series for their running of the Goodyear 200. But next Thursday with the iNRS Racing Series, we will be at Martinsville for the Cookout 200. And then after next week, we get a week off for Easter. And then, as does NASCAR, and then we'll be back for the Food City 250.
Some exciting racing ahead of us. Look forward to that. Garrett Walden was able to get a lap back and put himself back on the lead lap. He was the lucky dog on that last caution. Looks like almost everybody behind him went in the pits. A few guys stayed out. Matthew Patak is now the first car. He's 2 laps down.
Yeah, he
but
won't
that
get,
could change here in a minute. Let's see.
I have to hand it to Seth Fitzpatrick. He really has. He's been just hanging on here. These cautions have played into his strategy here.
They really have.
We're going to go back to green at lap 145. There just will be 2 laps left if we stay in regulation.
I'm knocking on wood. I'm on my knees. I'm praying. I'm doing everything here. Fingers crossed, legs crossed. '41 Kodiak car starting on the outside again. Race control cautioning everybody to take it easy in this restart. Don't be stupid. I know there's not much time to be patient, but there'll be a lot more time if people get too aggressive.
All right, green flag flies. Seth Fitzpatrick has an opportunity to work his way around. Just 3 laps to go here. He can hold it together. Oh, there's lots of action happening behind.
Somebody wrecking in the back or in the corner. Well, I think it was Jordan Wenzel.
It was Jordan Wenzel.
I wish at this point in the race they'd give him a little chance to sort it out and see if they can get it back underway before they throw the caution.
So right there, Jordan Wenzel's door-to-door with a 25 of Jake Musso. I don't think that was anybody's fault. It looks to be.
No, looked like netcode, didn't it?
Looks like a bit of netcode there, or he just got loose.
Yeah, in the corner right there, could be starting to get back to the gas. That could have done it.
Then, unfortunately, the 39 had no place to go. That's Kai Collmore, and they wind up in the door.
Yeah. 85 does a good job of staying out of it there.
Yep.
Got hard on the brakes and didn't swerve, stayed in his lane, just stayed behind them until it was clear.
Yeah, the 39 and the 81 just pinched together there. No place to go.
Yeah.
Tough night for both of those drivers. They both had great nights, but I think we're going to wind up at this point running into overtime. Well, the benefit of this, we talked about it. It's Seth Fitzpatrick. This really really is a good opportunity for him to bring this home.
Yeah, a lot of good cars that are either back in the field or out of the race. It's a shame you get guys like Jordan Wenzel still on the lead lap, but he's the probably going to be the last car on the lead lap, if not one of the last. You got Joe Mosow, who was running up front. Vince Burns had a tough night, but had a pretty good car. So it's many other guys too. It's a shame. Then you get guys like Vernon Broadbeck, who's out. Matt Parasini, who was our pole sitter, is out. Shane Trotter had a good car, and he's out. Just a tough night tonight for these guys.
Yep, absolutely hard on these guys.
Not too much of a tough night for Seth Fitzpatrick, though.
Nope, the 41 of Seth Fitzpatrick has taken complete advantage of this. Of course, it's not of his doing; it's all happening behind him. But it's a little bit of luck of the Irish, I imagine.
Yeah, and he got himself up there in the right spot at the right time.
Yep, and held it.
Yeah, and did a strategy move, deciding not to pit again after lap 101. So stretching, not stretching too bad, but that's still a stretch. He's right at the limit, but all these cautions are going to enable him to save fuel. So I think he's got plenty of fuel for 2 or 3 green-white checkers, which I'm claiming we will not need.
All right, here we go. Seth Fitzpatrick brings the field to the restart zone, and we're back underway here. Green flag flies. Oh, and the 25 of Jake Musso, he's had a problem spinning those tires all night long. A little bit of wheel spin. Corey Ennis takes advantage of it. He is now door-to-door with the 25 as they try to battle for second. Is wrecking behind. At least there's some contact now. The 8 goes around. 42 goes around. Caution does fly. Caution. And we're going to rack and stack and do this all over again. All right. Having fun?
Yeah.
That is the 20th caution of the night.
I was a fan of the green-white checker move. I like an effort to not end the race under caution, but I am not a fan of unlimited green-white checkers. Are they doing that in the official races as well?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, you're getting some of the lower splits on the official races, and those you'll have races lasting all night long. I'd like to be able to look back at the stats and see how many laps that 41 car has led under caution versus how many he's led under green. It's got to be pretty close.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been pretty crazy. Let's bring up the laps led. It'll just give us the overall laps led here. Seth Fitzpatrick has led 30 laps.
Oh, he's our lap leader now.
He is, yep. A lot of drivers have led laps here, but he has been the leader.
Yep.
When we get the wrap up, we'll get some more information as to how many laps were completed. I think it'll give us our caution information. Hopefully, they got a good calculator because we got 20 plus cautions right now. So.
Well, it'd be quite the story for Seth Fitzpatrick if he holds on to win this race. starting out next to last in 30, what would that be, 37th position. And if he holds on, wins the race with fastest lap and most laps led.
Right?
That's quite the story. Wow. Jordan Wenzel just talking on the radio a little bit about how he doesn't know what happened when he spun out. Jordan been running up front for a good part of the night, always a fast car, and spun, put himself towards the back of the lead lap, and unfortunately he's not been able to dig his way out.
Yeah, I don't.
Starting.
Yeah, we saw that. I don't think it had anything to do with Jordan Wenzel. I think there's really just the configuration of these cars have made this a super tricky track to ride on with the added horsepower.
Yeah.
The reduced downforce here in the sim have made this a challenge. And here we go, back to green flag racing. This is a green-white checker. That means we can make it back all the way around. We'll take the white flag, and whatever happens at that end, we will be crowning a champion. They're already wrecking.
Oh, you saved it once, and then
well, caution has not come out. They may just say, there it is. There it is. So who's a fan of this unlimited green-white checker?
Not I. Tough break there. And nobody wanted to see that white flag more than Seth Fitzpatrick. I think he'd be fine with somebody spinning after the white flag, but let's get a lap in before we get too racy.
Yeah, I don't think he even got a quarter of a lap in, and they're wrecking behind. Well, I am sure there's lots of chatter going on tonight, but
oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, guys floating ideas on how to end this. Seth Fitzpatrick, pretty quiet on the radio, though.
I think he would be. There's not a lot to talk about. He's kept it together.
Yep. Keep focused. Plan what you're going to do on the next restart. And so far, he's done a masterful job of doing that. He's won every restart soundly. Now, he does have a bit of an advantage being the leader. He gets to decide when to go. But a lot of these guys have gotten good at timing. So he's got to be able to mix it up a little bit. We saw several times where he started right at the end of the restart zone. And so he's got, guys are going to, if you keep doing the same thing over and over, guys will time it. And so he's got to be thinking about, okay, what do I do this time?
Yep.
I can't jump it too early or I'll get flagged. So,
well, lights are off on the pace car. We're working our way back around. Next time by, we'll try this another time to get this underway. Close out this event here. 21 cautions. That is not a record, but it's a lot.
I think if I was the 45, I'd be up a little closer to the front. Yeah, there he comes. He's easing up some. Oh, he started to jump. Got up to the door.
Your front, you got Seth Fitzpatrick, Keenan Shoddy to the inside. Jake Musso and Corey Ennis is in row 2. Dakota Reeder finds himself now back in 5th with Alex Daffin in 6th.
What a great comeback for Dakota Reeder.
Absolutely. All right. Another
1
time.
out of 4.
This is our third or fourth.
Oh,
All right, underway. They're holding together. The 41 out in front, as we expected, but the battle continues behind him. 45 goes up high. 25 of Jake Musso tucks in behind, and that's 1, 2, 3. They are spinning behind. The Garrett Walden there's wrecking behind. We are wrecking the yellow flies again.
Man. Well, I just noticed Kay Collymore had been towards the back and then made his way to the front, and now he's back. Yeah, not this past incident, but a few incidents ago. It's looks like he is out. He is 7 laps down. His pit counter has stopped.
He's out. He's out. He's retired.
Race control just said he thinks that was the largest number of cars in a wreck tonight.
Yep. We'd be happy to bring it to you if you all want to see this one more time. Sure. Sure. Let's try to find. Well, that's not who's in it. Let's find Brady Boatman. I think he was in there. Brady Boatwright. There's the contact right there that I think precipitates it. It's the 89, the 43.
89.
It's in the corner, and that, I believe, I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's sideways. Guys are trying to check up and not get into each other, and it goes on for quite a while, but then guys start trying to miss it or get around somebody that's going slower, and it just got
It's a parking
all
lot.
crazy on it. Yeah. You get cars going different speeds.
Jordan Wenzel
speed
is
mismatch.
done. His car
Yeah.
is finished.
Oh, yeah, that left front was
Toast.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so unfortunate. Yeah, Brantley Roden and Matthew Boston Wheeler both disconnected. They're out. Paul Irvin out. Let's see who else. Matt Wheel, he's out.
Yep, about a third of the field is gone. But hey, we could do this all over again in just a minute. We're about to wake our way back and start over.
Yeah, we don't have, well, Jordan Wenzel's in the pits, but I don't think he's going to get fixed in time to come out.
Oh, no. He is, I expect there's a meatball. Oh, there's a black flag, for sure.
Yeah, his pit counter's still counting, but he's not going to make the restart.
All right. And we are back underway. Green flag flies here. Seth Fitzpatrick tries it again. Already there's a car that hit the wall, but he straightened it out. We're still pointing the right direction.
Good jump by Seth Fitzpatrick in that 41.
Yep. Keenan Shoddy is there.
Front. Oh, I thought somebody was spinning.
Yeah, they held it together. I am praying we're in turn 3, making it around. Turn 4 for our leader, Seth Fitzpatrick. Do we get the white flag? Yes, we do.
Yes,
this race will have an ending.
Drivers are excited. A lot of radio chatter over that.
There's
now they're wrecking back
They're
there.
wrecking in the back, yeah. Seth Fitzpatrick, Keenan Shoddy, Dakota Reeder.
Wow.
That is your top three right now as we're working our way around through turns 3 and 4. Hold it together, guys. Can you make it? And Seth Fitzpatrick will win the Goodyear 200 here at Darlington. Keenan Shoddy in second, Dakota Reeder in third. That is your podium here.
Yeah, great finish for Keanu Shoddy. He something's wrong with time and scoring because it shows that he finished second but lost the position, but he wasn't the pole sitter. So not sure how.
Yeah, I don't know.
He probably led the first lap. Maybe it went off of that, but
not sure. With that was 150 something laps. I think we finished there.
Yeah. 163.
Right.
Oh wait, that may count the last one. But yeah, over 160. Crazy.
All right, they're coming in for their picture that they take at the end of each race here in the iNRS series, and then that leaves the 41 after he gets a good shot to.
He'll toast those tires that are already pre-toasted.
Yeah, yes, 50-something laps.
Yeah, he's got 52 laps on those tires. Probably 25 of them or more under caution.
All right, 41. While the 41 does his burnout, we'll run over to our results. Is that our results? No, that's our qualifying results. There's our results right there. All right, Seth Fitzpatrick wins. 42 laps led. Keenan Shoddy in second. Dakota Reeder in third. Hard charger. Look at that. Seth Fitzpatrick, most laps led. Seth Fitzpatrick, fastest lap. Seth Fitzpatrick. And for some reason, after all those confusing, it had actually credited Keenan Shoddy for the pole. We know that wasn't the actual case. What we do know is there were 22 cautions for 67 total laps of pacing. All right, let's get to our results here. Seth Fitzpatrick wins. Keenan Shoddy second. Dakota Reeder third. Corey Ennis fourth. Jake Musso fifth. Alex Daff in sixth. Brian Jones in seventh. Brennan McKee in eighth. Vince Burns in ninth. And Garrett Walden is in 10th.
Eric Lombard in 11th. Tony Japs 12th. Austin Walton 13th. Brady Boatwright 14th. And Keith Fonseca in 15th.
Jeff Ramsdale, Steve Tucker, Matthew Patak, Grady Gherkin, and Joe Musso make up the top 20.
21, you've got Lucas Gortman, Jordan Wenzel, Matthew Wheeler, Vernon Broadbeck, Paul Irwin, Kai Collymore, Mike Wheel, Eric Jeffers, Joe Torres, and Gary Wells in 30th.
31st, Zach Carter, Chase Berry, Daryl Young, Matt Barasini, Tyler Lem, Jacob Phillips, Shane Trotter, and Clark Franz finish out the field. All right, with that, let's head over to interviews. Let's get that going, and let's find out who's available for us to see if Dakota Reeder is in the booth. Yes, everybody. Imagine that. They're ready for interviews. Let's go ahead and grab Dakota and move him to the broadcast booth. Dakota, congratulations on surviving that. Heck of a result there. Dakota, can you hear us?
I got you.
Oh, there he comes. Yeah. Rick was telling you that was quite a comeback. You had a real good run going and then fell back quite a bit, but were able to make your way back for a third place finish.
Yeah, it was eventful. That's for sure. I started 13th, and then I think it was 13th, drove up from there and had a strategy call, got the lead, and just kept staying out on tires because it just seemed like we never got really good green flag run. And at some point I had to pick because I was short on fuel, and I think I restarted 20th.
Went to somewhere back there.
Yeah, like went to 5th, and then there was a wreck in front of me that I wasn't really in, but I had checkup for, and then had to restart 16th, and I don't know how I got to 3rd. Crazy night.
Well, it's just amazing. When I look at we have it on the screen right now, the graph of your positions, and it's it's like the stock market. It's doing well, it tanks, you do well, climbs up steady, tanks again, and then climbs back, does a little tank, and then all the way back to third. Just a great run for you.
Yeah, yeah, it was interesting out there. I'm still pretty new to the league, so I don't really know the etiquette of everybody that races around here, so it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but yeah, very interesting night.
Well, congratulations on survival and a great finish. I'm sure that will be good for you points wise. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, huge points night. I think my teammates Dustin, he came in and just was kind of hanging out with us, giving us some advice, which was great. Shout out to Brian, who had 13 minutes of damage tonight, somehow finished seventh, so kudos to him. I got to thank my wife, who lets me do this multiple times a week and doesn't complain about it, and the good Lord for allowing me to do this. So thank you guys.
You got it. Well, congratulations. All right, that's Dakota Reader finishing here in third, and with finishing in, I can't speak. I'm just my mouth
Caution's got you sleepy.
Yeah.
sleepy, or just too much talking. Not enough adult beverages. All right, let's bring in Keenan. And Keenan, I want to make sure I get your name right. Keenan Shoddy, is that correct? Keenan, are you there? Keenan, hello? Can you hear us? Keenan, can you hear us? Well, I'm not sure that Keenan can hear us tonight, but in the meantime, let's see if we'll keep him in the booth. We'll hear if he comes back and picks us up. We'll move our race winner to the booth. Seth, congratulations on the win here tonight. You survived it. I don't know how, but you did a great job of surviving those final 10 or 15 cautions. Can anybody hear us? Hello? Well, we don't seem to have any of the drivers in. Just heard one.
Yeah. If I can see you and I, but I can't tell if we're on the feed or not. But
yeah, we're still here. Guys, can you
there
hear
we
us?
go.
Keenan?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're back, Rick. You were gone for a while.
Well, not sure why. Well, I'm happy to be back. I will say that. Let's start with Keenan Shoddy. And again, are we saying your name correctly, Keenan?
Yeah, Keenan Shoddy, you guys got it.
All right, great. Well, congratulations on your finish. Again, it was a heck of a wild night. Look, just turn this graphic back to Keenan here. You started. Where were you qualifying? Where'd you
I
qualify?
actually got the pole, and so yeah, I started first. Was able to crawl back up to top 5 after just falling back there early in the race.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, so
thanks.
weird for us because our timing and scoring showed Matt Parasini had the pole, and I couldn't figure out why it showed you only lost one spot, but now you made it clear. You
Yeah,
actually had
absolutely.
the pole.
I spun the tires on the green flag, so I was pole sitter for maybe a half second, and then I slipped back to like 6.
Well, there was a lot of tire spinning going on tonight.
Yeah.
So
What was it like with the horsepower?
It was a lot different, especially after spinning the tires on the opening green flag. I told myself rest of the race to take it easy, and those last I don't even know how many restarts we had at the end there, where I started bottom in second. I just was trying to not spin it to ruin the whole bottom line or even wreck myself out. So, but it's a noticeable difference.
Well, it was pretty apparent. Not only yourself, a lot of other drivers were definitely struggling with coming out on those restarts. But congratulations on your finish. Certainly a great night here for you to close out this race here at Darlington.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Any shout outs tonight?
I'd just like to say shout out to my parents at home. I know they're watching. These last couple weeks have been rough with wrecking out, so I hope they had fun watching me up front. So shout out to them.
Well, congratulations on your finish, and we'll see you next week in Martinsville.
Yeah, thank you guys.
You got it. All right, Seth, that gets us back to you. Congratulations on survival. Man, that was, as caution after caution flew. We were talking in the booth here that it certainly was to your benefit. It didn't hurt, but you faced challenges nearly on every single restart.
Oh yeah, it's super tough trying to beat them on the start, because like I was telling them in there, they was talking about trying to time me, and I was like, well, I'm trying to time y'all. I don't want to race y'all. I want to get out there in front of y'all. Yeah. And it's just a challenge, and with the more horsepower, it's hard to get a good launch and not light them up, but it's pretty fun when we can get some good runs.
Well, we were talking on the broadcast, Seth, probably about 20 laps to go or so, that what a story it would be if you held on to win, because you started next to last. So you made up 37 positions. You have the fastest lap of the race, and you led the most laps in the race. You can't get a whole lot better than that. What happened?
Dude, I've been trying to win a race here for I couldn't tell you how long. I had more second place finishes here enough to make me mad, and I finally got one. So I don't know. This place is just,
bringing back
I
up
love
this
place.
Well, that it definitely showed. Bringing back up the stats for you as we brought up our finishing order. Hard Charger Award, you up 37 positions. You led the most laps. You actually had the fastest lap of a 29.206, and then you survived. You survived 22 cautions.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. Like, I think on lap 35, I got knocked dead sideways, and then it was later in the race. I run up on the 46 real quick and got into him, and I apologize to him for that, and nearly wrecked it there. And this place is a challenge. That's why I love it.
Well, congratulations on your win. Any shout outs tonight?
I'd like to shout out my buddy Scott. He didn't make it tonight, but he's the one to talk me into coming and running some, and for y'all for putting on the show. It's been pretty fun.
You got it. Well, congratulations. Folks, there's your winner. Seth Fitzpatrick closes it out and wins the Goodyear 200 here at Darlington in the iNRS Racing Series. But next week we move on to Martinsville, a completely different track, but it will have this same package. It should be a very interesting race for these iNRS Racing guys next week.
Absolutely. We can say tonight the lady in black didn't disappoint us. Especially she didn't disappoint Seth Fitzpatrick, who walks away with a great win tonight. It's going to give him a big boost in the standings, and he'll I think the confidence that will give him going forward. You heard him talking about, trying so hard to win here. That puts a spring in your step, and I think we'll see more out of Seth Fitzpatrick the rest of the year.
All right, so that's the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you all for tuning in, and those who stayed through the credits there. It's been a long night, but certainly a great night of racing. Thanks again. We'll see you next week in Martinsville for the iNRS Racing Series. And if you love Darlington so much you want to see it again, tune in Wednesday for the IWM Cup Series. They'll be here one more time. So, all right, folks, good night from Jeff and myself, and see you next time.